Well, greetings. I got to do a sound check, make sure we don't have chipmunk audio. We're going to rage about YouTube tonight. I fucking had it with that. You know, I'm going to have to sue them. I have no other choice but to sue them. Hopefully, I'll have some co-plaintiffs. Hopefully, I'll have. Good. We're working. Okay, is anybody here? We have nobody here yet. So we'll just I'm not going to get going on the rant until people are around to rant with. In the meanwhile, I'll just be at my desk looking at shit until people show up, make noise, tell me what they say something. Last night somebody came on and hacked into the chatter and made himself a mod and banned everybody else before I noticed what was going on. I even had somebody there helping, and there was nothing he could do. Once the guy had the wrench, he put everybody in timeout. Man, nobody's here. No, wait. I got nothing better to do. We're talking about Woodstock. We're just talking with some Woodstock old timers right now. Anybody here yet? Who's here? I'm filthy. I should have washed first. Who's here? We're gonna rage about YouTube trolls. I'm real pissed about all these guys I'm seeing on this channel that have empty channels. They have no content on their channels. All they're doing is fucking running around with YouTube and making nasty comments on people, and they're hacking into the fucking chatter. I've been here some nights where they'll take my controls away. I won't be able to do a fucking thing, except shut the stream down because they've hacked the chatter controls out from under me. So anybody got any comments about that? I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I'm filthy. I'm gonna go wash. I've been sitting here rubbing my elbows in a dirty desk. Be right back. I'll probably go get some water too, huh? Nobody here. Get today's debris out of here instead of letting it build up and my arms won't get dirty. Okay, well, now we got some people here, so I can be talking, and I got somebody looking for me at Hangouts. Bobdog. I unblocked him, man. I'll check again. And I'll, first I'll make sure I actually have you unblocked. I didn't have you unblocked. Try now. I hate this thing. I don't even know what I touch when that jumps up. I got the what the hell we call the XML editor or something splits the screen. I don't want to edit this shit. I don't know what I'm doing. I never did. Okay. So anyway, we're raging about Facebook or YouTube tonight. Well, actually, I'll rage about all the social network platforms tonight. Because that's what's really up. I've been doing this shit since 1999. Strange road. And it hasn't been a strange road. It's been like my console. This is my little bubble right here. My little bubble floating around in the information ocean. Hey now, Dippy. Am I hungry? No. Why? Don't be sending me no fucking pizzas, asshole. That's not cool. Unless you're gonna pay for them up front. Pay in advance, sure, send me a pizza, but don't be sending a pizza COD, motherfucker. No, I'm serious. If it's COD, I'm reporting you to the police. Screenshot this shit. If a COD pizza comes to my door, that's what's happening. Seriously, little boy. Hi, Misread. Your dick has been reported for harassment. I'm serious. If a pizza comes to my door, the cops are getting this is getting reported to cops as if they'd ever do anything about something like this anyway, which is kind of stupid. They have absolutely no way of. That's why you people get away with so much shit. I don't eat breadsticks. I don't really usually eat pizza. So let's see who this dipshit is. I'll bet it's another empty channel. Yeah, it's one of those handles you can't even find the channel. We're just gonna get rid of you. No, we need to screenshot that shit first. So anybody else got anything to say? Because that's where I'm at. I'm like, with hopefully like within. I don't like to make any dates, as it just they never seem to materialize. But it's time. I need to file. Or just I have people in the street that are threatening me, and the police are still doing nothing. So it's time to file on the Tucson Police Department. And when I file on one, I got to file all of it. So what it's going to be is a civil rights complaint. I forget all the statute numbers. You have to cite a lot of precedent law, case law, supporting your claim that your civil rights are being violated, that you're being discriminated against, and all that, which is what it's about. Against the Tucson Police Department, I think that I can make a case for them discriminating against me on the basis of my gender identity. Let's make it real nice and sloppy. I bring them complaints about organized crime, and they investigated my mental health instead. 4 times, falsified documents. The social media platforms are clearly biased and allowing people to say and do things to me and post all kinds of nasty media toward me, and then lock me down and do nothing about it when I complain on it. Friends complain, there'd be multiple complaints about some shit that nothing happens. But then, you know, I get knocked down for a month for just saying something innocuous. Last time it was about talking about a heroin dealer down the street from me. Well, you know, I don't want to go into a lot of speculation about like the reasons for all of this. I know that all calls are monitored. They have to be monitored because the signals have to be protected from each other. And it's no big thing to intercept a call, especially if you got data points to zero in together on. Really not a big thing if you know what you're doing and you got the right equipment. That's pretty much the same with all internet communications. None of it's fucking secure unless you got like serious crypto on it. Real serious crypto on it. There's hardly anything they can't break. There's nothing that I know of they haven't broken. Because I don't care. This is not, you know, computers. I'm not an IT geek. I'm an artist. I'm a writer. I've been using a word processor for 40 years at least. 45 years. You know, I've been using this USB camera kind of stuff for 20 years now. But it's just, you know, these are just tools of what I do. You know, I'm a writer, I'm a musician, I'm an artist. I'm taking pictures of my stuff, making videos, I'm, you know, making music videos, making comedy, educational videos. I'm not a computer geek. And I totally, you know, I grew up with my hands inside them and on the controls because it was in my family a lot. You know, we had electrical engineers in the family and a ham radio hobbyist. So I was around the stuff and used it from the time I was little. Was, you know, the whole evolution of it went right through my hands until it got down to them little fucking smartphones when they had stuffed the System 32 box into it. Basically, is what's happening inside that Droid system. That's just like super miniaturized, micro miniaturized IBM System 32 in there. That's when I quit keeping up with it. It's like, no. And I was, you know, just shortly after year 2000, I was like, no, I can't. No. I never could afford to stay on the leading edge of it anyway. You know, I was always a step or two behind in the stuff that I owned or I was using. Yeah, they sure are. They sure are. I mean, they totally don't protect your copyrights. Forget about protecting your copyrights if you post anything here. They could give a shit less about that. You put in a DMCA complaint if you don't sue, and there's a counter complaint, the shit comes right back up if you don't sue. They won't take the creator's word for it, even though it's obvious because they're hosting the creator's video. Well, some of them people sure deserve getting censored. You know, Alex Jones, for instance, guys like that, fuck them. Who's that woman? She gets thrown off all the time. It's a Zionist, dude, ultra conservative Zionist woman. Oh, they're not. You know, if you're too radical, telling too much truth from the left, they'll knock you down too. They want people stupid in the middle. That's what they want. They want to turn all the wage slaves. You know, they want to turn all of humanity into this giant bowl of butterscotch pudding. It's been real dry and dusty around here. And I'm smoking too much and not staying hydrated enough. So I've been like totally like, you know, I'm providing information into 4 separate, completely different social networks. You know, transgender community, the rainbow hippies, and rainbow hippies not to be confused with the rainbow family. Rainbow hippies are tuned into the Native Americans and the eco warriors. We're not in the rainbow family. That's a bunch of fucking dope fiends. I just finally had to say, people, you always say you're a member. No, I've never been a member because there is no such thing as a member of that. I have long been associated with them, went to a few gatherings over the years, shared a lot of their information, but I'm not a member. And I finally got to the point where it's like, no, I cannot endorse them anymore. They're a dangerous drug cult, and they're affecting the public hippie. They're affecting the public image of the rainbow hippie. They're negatively impacting the rainbow hippies. You know, there's rainbow gatherings, a rainbow gathering. Rainbow hippies live this way all year long, just like me, in a urban communal environment or a rural communal environment, or living I'm solo. Nobody can live with me. I can't even live with myself. I haven't been in a communal situation in over 20 years. Couldn't find anything in Austin, and nothing's come together here. But anyway, the rainbow gathering's a bunch of predators and parasites at this point, and big time con artists and big time dope dealers and their new age clients are, these fucking fake gurus and shit, kill little girls full of acid, go fuck the hell out of them and leave them with a case of herpes. And a rainbow hippie. That's the drainbow. That's the drainbow shit. So like, anyway, moving right back. That's better. See, I've always had this cough, but because I have allergies, dust and pollen, smoke allergies. I get histamine out. There is not a day that goes by where I don't have to hawk up a few loogies and blow my nose my whole life. Some days are worse than others, but there's no day when I don't, when I don't have to do it a few times a day. It's never in my whole life. It's always been this way. I'm 65, man. I'm in really good shape for 65. Don't be telling me I'm old, ugly, and decrepit. I don't know what I'm looking at, and I know what people are telling me that are being sincere and aren't trying to be assholes. So don't try and give me that shit. They tell me I got no friends. My friends don't show up at this kind of shit for a reason. Anyway, nobody's saying anything. I'm gonna check. I got some notifications to look at Facebook. Back up here and okay, there's the last one that I saw. So, and here's okay. We don't need to respond to that. I probably just should take a peek at this thread. They finally canceled the Woodstock 50. Michael Lang pulled the plug completely because Miley Cyrus pulled out this morning or yesterday. Now we had a 50th anniversary reunion group on the hippie channel at Facebook. And there's a lot of us old hippies out there, man. I'm not, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of old hippies. There's a lot of fucking old hippies. There's a couple. There's the one that this group has. Like, where the fuck is the number of people in the group? 10,000 people in this group. A lot of old hippies out there. Yeah, see, this is the conversation I'm in. Okay. I need to respond to that. I need to edit that, though. I do need to edit that. Does anybody say anything? We know YouTube is out. Yeah, we're talking about YouTube tonight. And just social networks in general, and the people, the who's operating them and why. How much of this is actually like being run by the government? How much of this is theirs? I mean, we know that they can look at anything they want. That was what I was talking about before I went off on a tangent, I guess. As all calls are monitored. They always have been. That little announcement, you hear that? They always have been. Is there such a thing? Well, send me a link to it. I'll see what's going on. I'm a content creator. I'm a media content creator. It's the way that I was like programmed to approach this since 1999. I've been doing this. That's I'd like to connect with other media content creators. I guess you'd also call me a community influencer. I kind of call myself a community info resource. Tommy's on the 411 and 911 lines is basically what I do. Let's watch everybody look at 211, 411, 911 are the calls that I'm watching for to be able to able to help people. If I know the answer, wham, it's there. If they need help, I can't tell you how many suicides I've intervened in over the years. That's what I do. Someone wants to know something, I go find out. Basically, man, if it's not fun, I don't want to do it. I have no reason to be on this planet except to educate and entertain people, and I want nothing out of anybody except more education and entertainment. Who's George? I learn so much stuff every day, every single day, something new, something interesting stuff that's new. Send it to my send it to my mailbox. Send it to there. Yeah, don't try to put a link into here. Yeah, I tried to connect to the to YouTube's community forum and shit. And attention, YouTube, the clock is ticking. I've been on. I got hundreds of videos up here that I've done, and none of it's been protected. It's all been stolen and butchered. They harbor the guys. There's like 10 channels that are broadcasting butchered doctor defamatory shit that they got from my channel that YouTube didn't do jack squat about it. I really shouldn't be smoking tobacco. Was that joint big enough for it again? Nah, not really. I can't talk about this at Facebook or I'll get in trouble, but I probably could at YouTube. $45 an ounce. There's less than a gram of waste left when I burn a half ounce of this stuff. God, it's just sweet smelling, sweet tasting. Got a really nice head. It's kind of like old school Christmas tree bud. You know, it's a sativa, Mexican sativa, really well grown, really nicely manicured, at $45 an ounce. I knew I'd eventually. I'm living in the barrio, man. I know if I got found the right guy and I got $400 in my hand, I'm gonna get a pound. I know that in this town. We call it two stoned. In the 90s when I come for the gem show, I didn't get it. Guy offered me 10 pounds for $100 a pound. Now I could have done that between me and the people I was with. We had no way to really get it to Chicago safely. And he's gonna deliver it for another $150 a pound. So for $2,500, we could have got in 1992, we could get 10 pounds of weed, really good weed, delivered to Chicago that was worth about $30 a quarter at the time. So yeah, I'd like to connect with other content creators. You know, I'm part of the hippie indie underground. You know, we built the fucking internet, man. We were online in 1985. My first partners at Real Things were computer engineers. Well, working for the fucking independent contractors, working for government installations. Thank you. We built the fucking internet. So we've been, you know, as soon as we could send emails and shit to each other, that event planning, the indie underground, you know, these indie festivals grew with the internet. You know, that was how we spread the word, was over the net. And you know, in around the turn of the century, I was in a crossfire, literal crossfire between the corporations and the bootleggers. Because here I was, an indie producer. We do it all ourselves. You know, we make the music and we press the CDs and we distribute the shit ourselves. So we don't want nobody bootleg ripping it off from us, which they were doing. And we don't want to be getting fucked over by the big boys. They were just destroying my equipment. I had a x86 broadband local network in the house, but I think it was something like 6,000 feet of wire to the first pot, and then 15,000 feet to the repeater, and it was just too much for the machine to get a proper two-way connection. It was too far. But boy, I could receive the inbound. Holy shit. It just couldn't handle it. I think it was so weird. You know, it's hard for me to describe because I'm not a software person. You know, I'm a hardware integrator and machine operator. That's what I do. I'll write the fucking program and I put the machine together and weld the shit in. And if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. That's what I've been doing for 30 years at least. Anyway, there was so much traffic coming at the machine because I was the only repeater in the neighborhood. So they're trying to run the whole, you know, the excuse they gave me is, oh, that's just our search engine optimizer. They were pushing the entire internet signal for the neighborhood through my box. I just couldn't handle it. And it burned up, boy, it burned up main boards. I burned up 50 main boards doing that shit. They hit me so hard one night, and I had a big power management stack because that's what my father was selling. So I had a power conditioner, a UPS on it, in addition to the firewall machine and then the local host. So it had to go through, the signal had to go through like that whole pile of crap just to get to my workstation, and it just like popped. And when it popped everything around me. The whole block went out. It was like, well, and there wasn't, you know, it wasn't storming or nothing like that. Just pow. And apparently something had zapped the onboard graphic controller. And when it dumped all that, it dumped all that shit to ground, and dumped the surge to ground. The surge was so strong that it snapped the breaker on the street box. You know, it's only a 1-can box. You know, this is just a little trailer park kind of, you know, it's trailers on quarter-acre lots. That's where I was living. So there wasn't, you know, the power main wasn't nothing. The breaker on it couldn't handle what my machine sent it when the main board got zapped. But that's the best I can do. And I can't really describe better what was going on, except that there was just so much signal being forced through my machine that it needed to pass and play on. You know, it had to let it go. You know, that's the I forget the wording on it. It's the FCC Rule 15 or something like that, where the machine cannot emit harmful interference, and it has to take any interference that comes. And the FCC has absolutely no jurisdiction over inter-office communications. So any malware attacks coming off the internet, they just write it off as inter-office. So no, we can't do anything about that. And then the feds have minimum thresholds of financial harm before the or public threat, you know, threat to public safety or financial harm, minimum thresholds that aren't being met. That's the only reason. That's why Kiwi Farms gets away with so much shit. They're not bad enough to merit the attention. They're just a bunch of little assholes and fucking up people's lives that the FBI don't give a crap about. Because the locals got no jurisdiction over any of it, and even, you know, and most of them are totally incompetent. Tucson has absolutely no computer forensics guys on their payroll at all. They definitely don't have a squad. So anyway, what else would you like to know? What else you guys want to talk about? Because that's where it's at. I have to go to the federal court to get any relief for the things that are happening on the street. Man, these guys are claiming that they hired the dude that sold my saxophone, and they refused to arrest him one night when he violated the restraining order. I'd never had a real, like, actual IT job. You know, I was in the I was office management for small fruit packing. You know, we go back into the 70s. I was the son of the boss's buddy at the place in the late 70s, where I was the person who worked with IBM when IBM came in to convert the office from manual to automated. I was the company representative on that project. Then in the early 80s, I was working with my friend in Milwaukee at a truckload freight dispatching terminal, and we were building computers and developing a database for that business. When I first got out of high school, that's why I quit programming. I was helping in the factory, and they had a Honeywell punch card timeshare thing going on. And I wrote a program in Fortran to calculate the price costing on a radio spinnaker sail we were manufacturing. And it crashed Honeywell so bad that it was down for a week and cost them a whole lot to get it back up. And I never wrote another program again. That was only like 1974. Yeah, when I was in high school, that's the only computer course I ever took was in high school. Who's there? If it's a COD, you've been scammed. If it's not prepaid, you've been pranked.
Really?
Yeah. I have proof on the screen too. But that's prank.
Are you Tom?
Yeah, it's a prank. If I ordered pizza, I would have paid for it in advance.
Okay.
And it's the second time it's happened for you guys. By the same guy. And if your manager wants to, if your manager wants more information on it, I've got a screenshot.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it?
It's just the username bragging about doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think someone's playing a prank. It's like playing a joke on you.
See that camera?
Oh, you're live streaming.
Yeah.
What are you building?
I'm a stone cutter.
Oh, dope. Okay. Okay.
I'm
Gotcha.
also a.
So someone's laughing their ass off right now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm a transgender community activist.
Okay.
So I'm a well-known artist.
Okay.
I mean, you guys got fucked. That's what it is. You know, just like make a note of it. Don't ever send me a pizza again.
No worries.
Happy day.
It's all good. Are you hungry?
Cool.
Here. Take it. It's on the house.
Cool. What they say?
Breadsticks and a pizza.
Breadsticks, pizza, and a Pepsi.
Make sure you just thank your streamers.
I will. I will. And
And
the driver for being cool and having the company eat it. We were in high school. Listen, on Saturday nights in high school, it's pizza and Pepsi. Thank you, man. Okay, well, the pizza guy was cool, but I really am not hungry. I'm totally not hungry. Who'd like to come over? I probably should go somewhere and give the thing away. I will drink the Pepsi, though. But seriously, when we were in high school, me and my buddy, Saturday nights, man. Okay, well, I see some guys that need to go. You're gone. You're gone. You don't know what COPD is, asshole. See, this is the kind of shit that is going to come out in the court of law. I fucking had it. Hey, autist. What happened is some assholes pranked Pizza Hut to send me a pizza. Let's see what's on it. Pepperoni and pineapple. That's probably it's one of them stuffed crust things with the weird crust, and yeah, I was totally not hungry. I've been kind of dieting for the last few days. Judge is going to hear about the pizza because this is, you know, this is all evidence. Yeah. I'll probably go run out to the Quickie Mart after a while and go give this away. Yeah. Yeah. No, I told the guy it was a prank, and he said, well, okay, well, you can have it. It's all on, it's all on the stream, man. Yeah, I have no choice but to take it to the judge because they're letting things happen to me on the street now because of the internet. I gotta get certain, you know. Oh, he didn't even wait for one. I didn't have any cash in my pocket anyway to give him. Prank yourself. Well, no, they're not. I don't want to do that. I told him to tell his manager never to send me a pizza here again unless I called and paid for it up front. I don't even know, you know. I'm amazed that they'll even send out a delivery anymore without getting payment in advance. You know? Hans Franken. Who is Hans Franken? Who is this guy? I better check with her. I just got a friend request from a friend of a friend. And he's a guy, and she's a woman. And I get chasers like that from my friends. Well, he doesn't look scary, at least, and he's got shit in his profile, so he's probably safe. But I'll still check with her anyway. Because it's not really, you know, the way things work is I'm putting these people's security at risk by them being my friend. Shit's happened to people that are my friends because of the trolls. You know. Okay, let's see what everybody wants. This is sad. I never actually read this story. It's just the headline and the picture was enough. I wasn't even going to share it until a friend of mine put a comment to it that I felt really needed to be shared, so that there was something to go with the picture and the headline. I guess I'm going to read that for you guys right now. This is just so fucking sad. It's one of those things. Well, am I supposed to be angry or sad about this? My friend wrote, these are the days when lemonade stands, growing your own food, and feeding homeless people and stray cats get you behind bars. But violent pedophiles, rapists, animal torturers, and sex and drug traffickers run free. This world is backwards. That I thought was worth sharing. So let's read the article now. This is just like, what? This is worse than the 90-year-old guy they arrested for feeding homeless people. This lady, they put her in jail for 10 days for feeding a 79-year-old Ohio woman sentenced to 10 days in jail for feeding stray cats. In Garfield Heights. I have no idea where Garfield Heights. Segula said the cats started showing up on her back porch. I'd always feed them and take care of them because I was worried about them, and I'm a cat lover. And then once my neighbors around here started being unhappy about it, then they called the animal warden, she said. She got her first citation in 2017, and in total she's received 4. But her latest citation required her to appear before Magistrate Jeffrey Short last week, who sentenced her to 10 days in the Cuyahoga County Jail. Ah, Cuyahoga County. That's Cleveland, isn't it? I couldn't believe my mom was telling me that for what she's doing out there, feeding some stray animals. She gets 10 days in the county jail. I couldn't believe it. Her son, Dave Padlowski, said. The Segula family was horrified. I'm sure people hear about the things that happened downtown in that jail, and not a lot of good things at all. And they're going to let my 79-year-old mother go there? In Garfield Heights, it is illegal to feed stray dogs and cats. However, Segula's family does not believe the punishment fits the crime. I understand my mother has broken the law repeatedly with this, and it is a law in Garfield Heights, but it should have been reviewed individually. Why would you send a 79-year-old lady to jail for feeding cats? It's too much of a sentence for me for what I'm doing when there are so many people out there doing so many bad things. Yeah, how many rapists have gotten 10 days or less? How many of them have gotten fucking adjudicated sentences that didn't even have supervised probation attached to them? Just, just stay out of trouble, don't come back again. You can just see ya. How many rapists, they just let a, that was in Ohio too. It was in Ohio. Where they let some pastor who had raped his daughter, repeatedly raped his daughter, they let him go because of his good works as a Christian minister. No jail time for repeatedly raping his daughter, though. I don't even want to go, no. Well, bye, stray cat. Yeah. Bye, stray cat. Come again when you can't stay so long, asshole. Autist, watch out for that one. Watch out for these fucking Kiwi farmers, man. What was Pizza Party up to? Yeah, you wanna know why I don't file? Is because a person who represents himself in court has fool for an attorney. So, but I've gotten to the point where I'm going to need to do something because I've got threat to my health and safety on the ground because of the internet now. I have to do something about that soon. Okay? So there will be a suit, and it will impact as many people like you as I can possibly make an impact. Next. What painting? The one behind me? The yellow? It came out of garbage. Those there are the two over here, those come out of the garbage, and the two in the middle are photographs that I took. The one with the multiple canvas, that's just some commercial thing. But the other one's an actual painting that's been signed by somebody. And let me get closer to you, or bring it up closer to the camera for you, because I'd be glad to sell it. It's a nice little painting. It's a treehouse by Hank Holland. And it says peace, love, hope, faith, grace, all that kind of shit. And it's a treehouse with people playing musical instruments around it and climbing up and down in it. Several tree houses. Kind of a cool painting. And it's got on the back, it's got some writing on the back. The only thing I can make out is says thanks Jesus and dance girls. 22811. So there, this is it. This is this thing. Yeah, I want $50 for this at least. Maybe more. I don't know. I'll have to look up the guy. But it's by Hank Holland. Really beautiful little thing. Was made on February 28th. He signed it February 28th, 2011. I can't really read. Tell me I love you. Thanks, Jesus. Dance Girls. And it's signed by Hank Holland. A pretty little thing, actually. Sir, mister, just fucking wrench him and use the hide user on the channel. You know what's really funny is these fuckers call me fat. And yeah, I'm overweight. But then there's Striker. That kid's like 400 pounds. And they're telling me I'm fatter than him. It's like, you know, I'm sorry, kids, but your insults are not credible. Calling me a pedophile, rapist, any of that shit, it's just not credible. I'm sorry. Have I ever read by Hunter Thompson? Oh, shit. I read a lot of it. A whole lot of it. I haven't read any online. Except some short quotes. But his Hell's Angels book is real important if you want to know about history of the 60s. True, you know, somebody was there, you know, in that community. The Hell's Angels book is a real important read. Fear and Loathing on the Campaign Trails are good. Crazy Baseball Rule. Let's see what I come up with. Oh shit, I hope I didn't just kill that. Oh good. There we go. It's a long read. Of course, I don't know what you call long read. Let me find someplace where I want to read it. Oh, I think I prefer Reddit to forumbodybuilding.com. Okay. Well, shit. They only have a link to it. Let's see where that goes. Here we go. Let's see how long this read. Oh, it's not that long. That's a short read. They call that a long read. Of course, these people, you know, anything longer, you know, for some of these people, the way they think is anything longer than one line is too much. Okay, now I don't do a good Hunter Thompson impersonation because I don't drink or do meth or coke or anything. Let's see. Let me think of it. Let me just look at this and feel how I want to read it. Okay, the title of this is "Baseball Has Become Unruly" by Hunter S. Thompson, a page 2 columnist. Hi, folks. My name is Thompson, and I don't have much space for this high-speed presentation, so let's get started and see how tight we can make it. My job is to devise a whole new set of rules and concepts to shorten the time it takes to play a game of Major League Baseball or any other kind. Everybody agrees that baseball games must be shortened, but nobody's really working on it. And meanwhile, the games get longer and longer. The good old meet in the seats argument won't work after midnight when the seats are mainly empty. And TV networks get nasty when they start having to refund money to advertisers when the ratings sink lower and lower. Pro wrestling and golf are bigger draws than baseball game. I've not been to a live baseball game in 20 years, and I hope I never see another one. Not even the new rules would drag me back to a ballpark, but I am a doctor of wisdom, a professional man, and some of my friends in the business have asked me to have a look at this problem, which I have, and this is my solution for good or ill. Told you, I'm not real good at this because I don't do okay. I'm keenly aware of the angst and bitter squabbling that will erupt when somebody tries to screw with the national pastime, but it must be done. And if I don't do it, somebody else will. So here's the plan. Eliminate the pitcher. This will knock at least 1/2 hour off the length of the game, which is now up to 3 hours and 42 minutes. One World Series game took 5 hours and 20 minutes, which is unacceptable to everybody except the pitchers. So yes, we will eliminate the pitchers. And they won't be missed. Pitchers as a group are pampered little swine with too much money and no real effect on the game except to drag it out and interrupt the action. Limit all games to 3 hours. Like football and basketball and hockey, the baseball game will end at a fixed time. The score at that moment will be final based on the accumulation of total bases in 3 hours. All base runners may run to any base, but not backward, from first to third, second to home, etc. And with no pitcher in the game, this frantic scrambling across the infield will be feasible and tempting. All pitching, by the way, will be done by a fine-tuned pitching machine that pops out of the mound, delivers a remote-controlled pitch at the batter, and then drops back out of sight to free up the whole infield for running. If a batter hits a home run with the bases loaded, for instance, his team will score 16 total bases or 16 points. But if it's 3 up and 3 down in an inning, that team will score 0 points. Think of 22-5, perhaps, or 88-55. Yes, sir, we will have huge scores and constant speedy action for 3 straight hours. The heroes of the game will be the catchers, not the pitchers. The catcher will dominate the game and be the highest paid player. With no pitcher and no mound to disrupt the flow, runners on base will be moving at the crack of the bat, and it will be the catcher's job to shut them down or pick them off whenever possible. Foot speed and a bazooka throwing arm will be paramount. There will be no more of this bull about bullpens and managers scratching their heads on TV for hours on end. No more lame pick-off throws to first. No more waving off signs and agonized close-ups while pop fouls bounce off the roof. No, there will be no such thing as a base on balls. Each batter will get 5 pitches from the robot, only 5. And if he doesn't get hit by men, he is out. And the catcher will control the kind of drop or curve or speed he wants the machine to throw, and it will obey. Those damn pitching machines can put a slider past you at 98 miles an hour 5 times in a row with no problem. They can throw hideous waving knuckleballs and half-moon curves, all depending on according to what the catcher wants to dial up on his remote control unit. He can even order that the batter be whacked in the ribs by a 110 mile per hour fastball. Although that will cost his team 2 bases instead of 1. You won't want to have some poor Cuban drilled in the ribs when you're nursing a 31-30 lead. Okay, he got me with that one. All right, folks, that's it for now. I'm already late, and I've written too many words, but the concept is sound, I think, and there is a clear and desperate need for it. Next spring, ESPN will put my theories to test by sponsoring a series of new rules baseball games in New York, Chicago, Omaha, and Seattle, among others. Tickets will be sold, and big-time sports talent will be employed. The success or failure of these games will determine the fate of baseball in America. Purists will bitch and whine, but so what? Purists will always bitch and whine. That is their function. Res ipsa loquitur. Thank you for asking me to read that. That was fun. I see him. I'm dealing with it right now. Who's there? Who's here? Oh, I've been pranked twice. Take that back, tell your manager never, ever, ever even accept an order from this place unless they can verify that it's me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, you got it.
Sorry about that, man.
No problem. Yeah, especially in summertime.
No, especially when I'm streaming live right now and I'm real well known here in America.
Yeah.
You're the second tonight. They did Pizza Hut too.
All right, all right. You have a good one, sir.
Sorry, I'm not a sir. That's why they did it.
My apology.
Crazy old train.
My apology.
That's all right. I get. That's not like I'm like trying to put anything over on anybody. I mean, they're a sex person. I'm a half and half naturally. I'm not trying to be a woman for anybody. But I have a lot of fans that hate me.
Yeah.
Well, you're not hearing it.
Oh yeah.
Happy day, man. Sorry they fucked with me. But seriously, make sure they know that this they do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the system or parts when I get back. So
Yeah.
I'll follow it.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Cool. Thank you.
You have a good one.
You too. Fuckheads. This is what this stream is about tonight. Is these fuckheads. There's a dial-up prank. There's some kind of site that has all these different phone pranks that you can order up on people. See this Chris Doe. There's nobody. Here's one. That could be him. God, let's block this one. I get all these trolls in here that I go looking for their channel to block them, and I can't find the channel. See, there's a whole ton of them. I suppose Chris Doe is really a real person. Yeah, sure. Now there's a ton of them. Fuck. You can see the door. It's on the door. You can see the door solid. Yeah, it was another pizza. No, the first guy let me keep the pizza. I don't know. That's the apple and the razor blade thing's always been a myth that I've never seen proof of one. But, these people are trying to tell the world what they think of me and tell facts, things that they think are facts about me that the world knows or not. I have friends that have known me for upwards of 30 years, real well. and Hawaiian pizza. I think that's what they sent. That was some weird thing. I'm gonna take it when I'm gonna cut this thing off eventually. Probably soon, and just take that over to give it to the homeless people around the corner. Best I can do is just keep hiding you. You're being reported to YouTube for harassment. Yeah, it seems so. I don't know how he gets back on. Once I, other people, once I hide them, they're gone. Huh.
Now, before this video starts,
I think I probably should be like, tell us about this Etika swim team, bozo. It would probably be Gmail, because that's who owns YouTube. Google and YouTube are all in the same thing. Oh yeah. Well, I probably should read this out. And do we have any people that are into intelligent things? Climate crisis kind of stuff. Anybody into a climate crisis reading thing? Probably should read a couple of them. Let's start with this one. This is an interesting story. I just skimmed it, so I don't. Here we go. The murder of the UN rights chief has accused murder of Brazilian tribal leader linked to Bolsonaro's Amazon agenda. UN rights chief on Monday condemned the reprehensible murder of a tribal chief in the Amazon, linking the killing to the pro-mining policies of far-right Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro. The body of the head of the Waipi tribe, which controls territory in the northern state of Amapá, deep inside the Amazon, was found in the river last week. Rich in gold, manganese, iron, and copper, the Waipi's territory has faced growing pressure from miners, ranchers, and loggers under far-right Bolsonaro. The chief's murder is tragic and reprehensible in its own right, the United High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, said in a statement. It's also a disturbing symptom of the growing problem of encroachment on indigenous land, especially forests, by miners, loggers, and farmers in Brazil. Bolsonaro on Saturday called for the first world to exploit the absurd quantity of minerals in the rainforest. and here we are calling on everybody to leave it in the fucking ground. Bachelet said the proposed policy to open up more areas of the Amazon to mining could lead to incidents of violence, intimidation, and killings of the type inflicted on the Waipi people last week. Brazilian police are also investigating reports that a group of heavily armed miners, known as garimpeiros, overran a village in the same area of Amapá days after the chief was killed. Bachelet called on Brazil to reconsider its policies toward indigenous peoples and their lands, so the chief's murder does not herald a new wave of violence aimed at scaring people off their ancestral lands. The Waipi's territory is one of hundreds Brazil's government demarcated in the 1980s for the exclusive use of its 800,000 indigenous inhabitants. Since taking office in January, Bolsonaro has been accused of harming the Amazon and indigenous tribes in order to benefit his supporters in the logging, mining, and farming industries. In April, thousands of indigenous people converged on Brazil's capital to defend hard-won land rights many fear would be eroded by the far-right president. In a recent opinion article for the Globe Post, Claire Worldly, an environmental researcher at the University of Cambridge, noted that the deforestation of the Amazon that's necessary to promote the logging, mining, and farming industry has serious implications for climate change. This sets the scene for potentially one of the biggest catastrophes of our troubled times. Not only is Bolsonaro a threat to many of his own people, he endangers our global climate. Often called the lungs of the world, the millions of plants in the Amazon absorb carbon dioxide from the air for photosynthesis. Thus, any further reduction in plant life there would significantly contribute to the accelerated warming of the planet. Do I need to repeat that? For this reason, Tyler Bellstrom argued this week in a New Republic op-ed that Brazil under Bolsonaro is a greater threat to the security of the United States and the world as a whole than China or Iran. Oh, Jesus. I haven't been shot at in a long time. Last time anybody shot at me, they hit me too. But that was 87. That's 32 years ago. Woo. Yeah, I haven't been shot at in 32 years. No, I didn't. I didn't. Yeah. Yeah, you know, that the whole BRICS and fuck us alliances, and I don't know what, you know, anymore. You know, I've been studying world history pretty solidly. Worst physical pain I ever felt. A rotting tooth, probably. I don't remember really feeling that much pain when I smashed my face. And I had a lot more pain recovering from, you know, I didn't feel the bullet hit me hardly at all. You know, it just felt like a little pop on, you know, like a BB hit me. There was no pain there. More pain recovering from the surgery. They cut my abdominal rectus muscle, and that's bad. So it's real hard to heal from. It took a long time. Yeah, rotting teeth is the worst. Right now, I got a plate left in my jaw that comes up through the gum and it gets inflamed. It can get pretty bad, you know, 5, 6 level pain. But when they're rotting, man, when a tooth is rotting out, that was the worst. I think that was the worst. It's like, you know, it was like when I smashed my face, I really didn't hurt myself that bad because I fell right. You know, I hit the ground and rolled and onto my side, and all that got hurt was my face as it popped on the side of the cliff on the way down. Was all that got hurt, and I hit the ground, and I thought I was going to die, and then I didn't, and there wasn't that much pain. And certainly, by the time I let me go from the hospital, the pain was pretty well down. Fuck, this guy, he's probably got a lot of different, dude probably has a whole lot of different socks. That's why he keeps showing up. Yeah, he keeps showing up with different colored avatars. The dude has, so watch for him, man. Are you still here, Autist? Are you still around? Because like, dude's got a lot of different sock puppets. You block one, he just lights the other one, the next one up. That's all he's doing. He's probably got 30, 40 of them. So that, now the other one I was going to read, this is the scary one. Because see, that was about mining. This is about logging. That was about a murder in mining. This is about logging. This is from Amazon deforestation rate hits 3 football fields per minute, data confirms. Think about that. They're clearing 3 football fields a minute down there. That's a hell of a lot of trees getting cut down at one time. The Amazon forest in Brazil is being clear cut so rapidly, a rate of 3 football fields per minute, that it's approaching a tipping point from which it will not recover, according to The Guardian. As trees are lost, researchers said there's a risk that large areas could transition from rainforest to savanna as they lose the ability to make their own rainfall from evaporation and from plants giving off water vapor, according to Newsweek. Yes, that's how it happens. And then take a look at the Sahara and the Arabian Desert. That's the next stage after human, the word that the government just got sued by a scientist, climate scientist they fired. She's suing them because she got fired over editing the word anthropogenic out of her climate change report. They don't want to admit that our industries are causing this, because then they have to shut down the industries. When human occupation of an ecosystem, always throughout time, everywhere we've gone, and every single time nature wins. Every single time Mother Nature wins. It's like what the movers and shakers don't really seem to comprehend in their denial of what they're doing is that, you know, they don't understand the laws of thermodynamics at all. They look at the earth and it's so huge and all this is an infinite system. Well, it's not. It's a closed system. And you cannot create or destroy matter or energy anywhere, and certainly not within the closed system. You can only change it in form. And when we pump those, you know, all that carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, there's a lot of things happening that kind of, you know, everything's all interdependent. Everything's all linked to each other. And we load the environment with shit on one end, and then it spreads around, you know, like, you know, here's all these fires in the Arctic, for instance, and all this water down here. I wonder how that happened. You know, picture, you know, there's a big molten rock. There's a big molten rock spinning around in outer space. Big molten rock with a encased in water. That's what, you know. And there's really only a very thin crust that's like solid and cool enough for things to grow on. You know, carbon-based life forms like ourselves and the plants and the animals and all this other happy shit. But this is one organism. And then the sun and the solar system and the earth, this is another single organism in itself. And our galaxy is another individual organism. It's all one. It's all part of the same thing. And, you know, we just are blessed with the individuals, with the power of self-identity and the will to create. I don't know how much of a blessing that is. Certainly a fucking scourge on the planet, because we don't have the power of discernment to know what's like responsible usage of the resources so that we don't harm the balance of nature. You know, we can't, you know, people are talking about how we're killing the planet. That's a bunch of shit. We're pissing the planet off. That's what's happening. And the planet is going to eventually, you know, just keep, it just, you know, it's spinning relentlessly through outer space. And I picture what's going on inside there. with the water and the molten metal. And then these energies are always there. And then here we are kind of disrupting shit. So it's gonna smooth itself out. This is gonna roll right over us. I saw somebody talking about how he thinks that there's going to be major flooding by 2026. I don't think we got past 2035 at this point if we do not start phasing that shit out real rapidly and replacing with green energy capture technology. Combustion energy capture technology is fucking inefficient. It's less than 5% efficient. Probably more like less than 1% efficient the way they got it set up. And then all that other energy that's released goes into the environment, and it's got to go somewhere. It has to be. It has. The one thing that's constant about life on Earth is that it's constantly changing. To think that the climate is stable and doesn't change is stupid, because that's not what's going on. It's always changed. There's always, but it's cyclical and it moves slowly, and the humans have always, or should be able to adapt to the changes, the natural changes, as long as we're not there disrupting shit, tearing up the ground, ripping shit out of it, burning it, putting it back in the atmosphere. So long as we're just living within nature, climate's pretty stable as things go. We might have to move from one place to another because it got too hot or too cold somewhere, but what we are looking at is the climate getting ready to collapse because we've totally disrupted the balance of nature. We do not have much time left for civilization on this planet. That's a fact. That's for sure. Anybody who wants to deny that's just a damn fool. So let's see what kind of reaction we've gotten to that last rant. Okay. Where are we? Well, they've discovered a lot of ancient structures in a lot of places. I just saw something, I didn't read it yet. There was something I saw today about how the Vatican is covering up the antediluvian history, that they know what was going on here before the flood. I do too. I've had clear vision of it all my life. This is the way my rabbi taught it. This is how we saw it, is that there was advanced civilization that fell. And that the post flood time was the recovery time of the civilization. And that, shit like flying chariots, and that's highly technologically advanced society being observed by a bunch of primitives. This is the way we always looked at the Bible. Stopping reproducing would be a good idea. Boy, there's a lot of people I think shouldn't even be allowed to breed. They're just so evil, such mean people, awful, just ignorant, mean, stupid people. Take care, box of socks. Thanks for coming, man. This is some nice weed. Oh, probably $45 an ounce. Well, that's one of my prime complaints about human society is people who impose their will on others without their consent. That's one of the things that's to me, that's one of the most basic things that's wrong with humanity, is forcing your will on others without their consent. There is so much different stuff they could do to capture energy. It's ridiculous. I've seen some wonderful designs for completely self-sufficient homesteads. A building, a couple of smaller, one single main building, couple of smaller buildings, and a whole mess of ponds and other shit. and wind, solar, hydro, just generating all kinds of power, storing as much of it as you can. All the stuff, low voltage devices everywhere, and completely off the grid, self-sufficient. Fried chicken. Okay. Well, I saw something the other day. Forget what they were going to use it for. God, there's this giant crystal ball. Giant crystal ball that was some kind of solar energy collector. Huge ass crystal ball. See anything else interesting going on? Or did I finish that? Did I finish the thing about equal watch, or did I get distracted? I think I got distracted. Yeah, I did, because now here it is. I got distracted right before I even got into it. I didn't get past the first paragraph. Second paragraph. Okay, that's where I got to. It's very, I described what was going on and the recent research and all. It's very important to keep repeating these concerns. There are a number of tipping points which are not far away. Said Philip Fernside, a professor at Brazil's National Institute of Amazonian Research. We can't see exactly where they are, but we know they're very close. It means we have to do things right away. Unfortunately, that is not what is happening. There are people denying we even have a problem. That there are. I saw something where Brazil had issued a denial about all that. Alarming rate of deforestation and its acceleration confirms suspicions that new President Jair Bolsonaro allowed illegal land invasion, logging, and burning. Bolsonaro has called his own government satellite data lies. They got them. You got Trumps everywhere. You got you got Netanyahu. You got Trump. You got the Brits just got Boris and jeez, and they got Doug Ford up in Canada. Boy, you got Trumps everywhere. I don't know who the players are in Australia, but they got the same shit going on there. To where the right wingers. And it's all about the European industrial settler colonialism, industrial fascism that Europe's been exporting for the last 500 years. That's going on. They got this insatiable appetite for the world's resources, metal resources, and they've just colonized like all this indigenous land, tear it up, and that's that. And then that's where I got ran off on a tangent, is that the earth isn't going to tolerate it much more. We have to realize that we are just like an infinitesimal fraction of the mass of the planet. Even with everything we've dug up, that's still an infinitesimal fraction of the mass of the planet. And the planet's going to take it back and put it back in the planet's order. Not, human did not looked at it and didn't stay within the confines of nature, and nature is going to take it back, and nature wins every time. The civilization's probably risen and fallen. Oh, that's what got me off on the tangent. Someone made a comment about that. Civilization's probably risen and fallen 5-6 times at least. Oh, and here's Bolsonaro. He thinks he's fulfilling a mission of God, from God. The alarming rate of deforestation acceleration confirms suspicions of he's allowed illegal land invasion, logging, and burning. His president comments followed preliminary satellite data that showed more than 400 square miles of the rainforest had been cleared in the first half of July. An increase of 68% from the entire month of July last year. Bolsonaro, the far-right politician, who said he is fulfilling a mission from God. Which God? Dismissed concerns expressed by European Union members and called it hypocritical since so many European forests have been wiped out. You have to understand, the Amazon is Brazil's, not yours, Bolsonaro said. And if this devastation you accused us of doing was done in the past, the Amazon would have stopped existing. It would be a big desert. Give it time. We don't need to read the rest of that. So what's anybody? Yeah, these children. I've forgotten more history than any of you will ever know. I've studied history all my life. I read like three different sets of encyclopedias by the time I was 12 years old. I don't need to even Tom isn't afraid to debate. Tom refuses to engage in harassment with asshole trolls. That's not debate. I don't know about those artifacts. You got a link to any of it? Yeah, here's the way it plays, fellas. In my network, this is my network. Okay. First of all, what you're doing is not debating. You're being obnoxious and intrusive and just total profane, perverted assholes. And I'm just not going to engage in. I'm going to block you, and you're going to disappear. And I'm going to talk about you as little as possible. You just, stick your head up. It's gone. Go jibber jabber with each other somewhere else. In my network, we are like nice to each other. We're telling interesting true stories, or telling people funny stories that aren't necessarily true. We're discussing current events. We do not harass anybody. We're not mean to anybody. Nobody, otherwise, anybody does stuff like that, fuck you. Goodbye. You're gone. You can't be cool. You can't be here. I'm not afraid to debate you. You're incompetent to debate me. And I will not lower myself to your level just to satisfy your addiction to my schadenfreude. Okay? You will not irritate me for your pleasure. You will just be eliminated from the channel. You will not irritate any of my listeners for your pleasure. You will just be eliminated from the channel. Do you all understand me? Fuck off. Go eat shit and live somewhere else. Yeah, I'm serious. I'm serious. I got no time or space for any of you idiots. Whoever Tom Pierce Pariso is, if you're James Pariso, are you claiming to be James Pariso? You toxic piece of shit. Are you James Pariso? I'll be glad to meet you downtown. I'll be glad to meet you downtown. So you know what? You need to be served with a restraining order. Okay? So now you can disappear from my channel. You know how to reach me on the phone? Try it. Otherwise, fuck off. I got no time for anybody like you. No, Cedric, I've hardly even been able to pay any attention to anything you said because of these assholes. Yeah, Dutert's is a problem. Al Gore, he's a corporate Democrat. No, the Republicans lie to the left or to the right, and the Democrats lie to the left, and the banker gangsters are playing both ends from the middle. Al Gore, he's I don't know. I don't. I never really paid much attention to Al Gore or anything he said, to be honest with you. I really try to stay the fuck away from all that, Nah, that's a shitty one. Now, it's all going to be gone soon. None of it's going to survive this century, and there's nothing I can do about. No, I'm not a poet. I've written very few poems. I'm I write melodies. I'm a musician. That back there in the corner is a keyboard. And all this stuff here is stones. I cut and mount gemstone. People that yeah. Anyway. None of you have the courage to do anything but hide behind your fucking internet connection and harass people. My opinion of King Crimson, I used to like them guys a lot. Yeah, I'd be glad to pull it out. Unfortunately, if I do, I don't feel like getting the saxophone out, but I'll get the flute out gladly. So anytime somebody asks, but would rather hear music than me talk. You got music. See, I have certain priorities in my life. I'm a multidisciplined artist. Okay, I play music because I love to, and it happens to feed me. I write because I got a death wish. I want somebody to kill me because my deal with God requires that I not kill anybody or kill myself. And I cut stone for a living. And anyway, I don't even know what I should play right now. Let's see what comes out. At least me and my buddy in late grammar school and early high school, and I used to listen to a lot of King Crimson together. That would be like about 1965, 66 or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, what? Oh, I said I can still fool people after all these years. Thank you, Misread. Let's see if I got anything else. I was just getting it warmed up. Get me. Ah, medieval. No, I don't know. It's I just kind of opened myself up to let it happen and let it happen. Uh, Thank you so much. Um, I'm not sure what to call that. Uh, there was a kind of martial feeling behind it. You know, this tune came to me when I was um walking up and down a median strip on Highway 183 at the intersection that was Highway 71 between 2005 and 2010. I was out on a street corner, on a rural street corner in Travis County, Texas. Uh, Good night, Cedric, or afternoon, if I guess if you're somewhere going to eat lunch. Uh, Thank you, Kenneth. Um, there was kind of a martial feeling to it when I got it. You know, I was feeling like I was like, I was walking up and down. I was walking on the highway median strip uh, with a flute, and sometimes I'd be out on Highway 71 too in that median strip. Just depending on where the traffic was at the particular moment. Um, and it was a marching tune. And someday some words will come. There were words, you know, but this is like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Um, let's see what else we got. We still got people here. Oh yeah. Hmm. No, I'm not hearing where to go from there. Uh, boy, the furries. Um, one of the people stalking me from Kiwi Farms is a furry. There's a lot of them furries. They're all, as far as I'm concerned, that's all real creepy. That's not something I can relate to. I never played video games. No, I just they started when I was a kid. Oh no, that's commercial flute. That's a Baroque recorder from Honer makes them. You can get a nice wooden recorder from eBay if you shop it right for under $30 delivered. Really nice with a good tone wooden recorder. For under $30. I usually get them for 15 or 20. I never could get the hang of strings. Just I tried to play guitar when I was younger, and nah, it didn't happen. I could get my hands to do two different things. I can coordinate them to play. To be playing two hands on the holes of the pads of a wind instrument, but I could never get them to do the one thing or on the piano either. And then later in life, the music was in me. I used to drill scales and shit all the time on the horns. And the music was in me, and you could pretty much hand me any instrument at all, and I can get it sounding musical at this point. I can't think about what I'm playing and play something except on the flute or the saxophone and the keyboard to a little certain extent. Anything else, I'm just like exploring. The flute and the saxophone and the piano I've explored playing. I've had people hand me guitars over the years. I haven't done it in a long time since I busted my wrist. This really fucked up my ability to play the keyboard as I messed up my wrist. And some people handed me like really nice guitars, and I'd be sitting there and messing with it, and next thing I know, the thing is dancing in my hands. And I've had them go so wild on me and play them so hard that I'd rip all the tips off of all the fingers on both hands. After about a half hour of it, I just had my fingers would be all tore off, but the sound was like wow. My friend, I think I talked about it earlier. I'd gotten a friend request from some dude, and I wanted to check with my friend before I accepted or rejected it. And she just responded. Kelly wants me to like her page. Yeah, I get a lot of chasers off my friends. They'll come from, they'll see me on my a friend roster, and then come and send me a friend request and want to send me dick pics and stuff. I'll mess with some of them. I'll tell them, okay. I wonder if um I think. I'm trying to decide. She's saying he's all right, been all right, but there are some flags that I'm still concerned about before I even, I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to just like delete it or respond to the guy. And I'm not really collecting friends. So I don't give a fuck how many friends and followers I have. I'm not that kind of a. This is me. I'm living my life online. I'm leaving a record. This is what's going on. I can give a fuck less who's watching. How many? Uh, anyway. Okay. So anybody that never had people on Facebook, I don't know, never can trust. No, he can't. He just fucking can't. But I'm putting myself out as an arts management consultant and community advocate. So, on the one hand, I don't want to have too many, but certain ones are good to have. I want people who are interested in my writing, that react to it, that share it. They have ideas of their own to input. Boy, there's this one brother named another artist, a Native American artist, and I've been on parallel pathways for many, many years, both of us. And he's a little younger than me. This guy, boy, he'll tell a story and drag a story. It'll bring a story out of similar story. Boy, he told a story about Native American leaders, John Trudell and Dennis Banks and them, and I happen to have some stories of my own on that. And this three times this has happened in the last few days with him. But it was a friend anniversary came up with there's a gay guy. This is a really nice fellow that has very few friends because he's like controversial. So they just pretty much were my real friends, my core friends. We're just all a bunch of contrarians, individualists that we have strong opinions about things because we're well educated about them. We know what's right and wrong. And we tend to write in full paragraphs. So anyway, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. As far as friends go, oh, my friends, yeah, my friend, the gay guy. Why did I bring him up? I'll be 65, but I have these old people moments every little bit. Nothing serious yet. Just like, oops, that slipped, or like, why did I come over here? But then I see people in 20s, 30s like just lose grip of their for short-term memory for a moment. See what else is going on there. Oh, that Doc Kelly's Geek Boutique. Oh, Geek Critique. Oh, I think she's reviewing. What's she doing here? Oh, she's not a. Okay. She's not a. She's a straight up geek. Geek. She's an uber geek. She's not a transgender computer engineer. I think we'll unfollow it though. Oh, let's see how often does she post. Not that often. Barely once a week, a couple of times a week. Yeah. Bob, I got some friend requests that I accepted a little bit back that I had to block them immediately because they started spamming me. Do I have any doobies? Doobie doo. Yeah, I can make a doobie. Uh-oh. I think I remember you as a problem child. Hmm. No, this must have been someone else. I don't know. So what's going on, Kenneth? Yeah, I'm running out of steam here anyway. I'm gonna shut down a little bit. Maybe chit chat with you some and then go. Got that pizza getting cold. I'm gonna heat it back up and bring it out to the homeless people out in the corner. As a matter of fact, I think that's what I'm gonna do now because I need to pee. I drank that whole Pepsi. I need to pee. Thanks for coming, folks, and the folks who are nice, especially, and trolls. Go eat shit and live somewhere else, okay? Happy day. Bye.